Hey everybody, it's time for another makeup video. It's been a while. So if you want to see me create this look, you know what to do. Just keep on watching. Hi there friends, I'm Nikki and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. So glad you stopped by. Please stick around, join the party and subscribe. There's a little button down below to click that because I don't really have a set schedule anymore, but I do upload at least 3 times per week. So to avoid missing any, that's what you got to do. And if you already have subscribed, thank you so very much. I greatly do appreciate it. Well, since my channel is pretty much dedicated to wig reviews, I still love makeup and I bring you some makeup videos, and it's been a very long time since I've brought you one of those. But most of you already know I was recovering from COVID, and when that happened, I got really far behind on bringing my wig reviews to you, so I was trying to catch up with that, and I still haven't caught up completely. But I did pick up a few palettes that I wanted to review. Unfortunately didn't get to them, but this one I was full set determined to review for you. So that's what I'm here to do. You pretty much could tell from the title that's what this is all about. And if you are wondering, we're going to be having some fun and reviewing this Hela palette from ODEN'S. ODEN'S is an indie brand, Swedish-based company. I have a few other palettes. I really love them. So again, that's why I was very excited when this one came out. But this palette is in collaboration with Angelica Nyvquist, I think. I probably am butchering her last name, so I'm just going to put it on the screen there for you. But this is the second palette that she has done collaborations on. The first one was with Kaleidos and the Club Nebula palette, and now she's partnered with ODEN'S. And I mean, just look at this packaging. That is so cool. That's another thing ODEN'S happens to be known for, is their beautiful, unique designs. So this is definitely fallen through with that. So I love that. But let's open it up and see what we've got inside. And here it is. Obviously there's a little round mirror, so I'm just going to try to avoid the glare from that. But there's a total of 16 shades in the palette. There are a few mattes, there's some metallic shimmers, and there's even some duochromes in here that I really love. Very intriguing. Duochromes are hot right now, so to include that, perfect. But it's a nice little springtime palette, and since we got spring coming up on us, I thought I would create a nice little spring moment for you. So what you see on my eyes here is what I'm going to create for you, and we'll figure out what I think of this palette in the end. So if you are ready, I know I am, let's go ahead and review the Hela palette. All right, is everybody ready to have some fun with the Hela palette by ODEN'S? I know I am. I'm very excited about this one. Could not wait for it to arrive. Keep in mind, it's from Sweden, so if you do order it, it may take a little extra time to get to you, but I think the wait is going to be worth it. So, I also, congrats to Angelica. I hope she can keep it up. And if you've never seen her channel, I highly recommend that you do. It's amazing beauty related content. So if you are not familiar with how I do my eye makeup videos, I'm going to tell you. And I am going to do one eye on camera, then I will pop off camera, complete the other eye, and do the entire rest of the look like you just saw. And then when I come back, I will give you a close-up of the eye look and also tell you what other products I used to complete it. And then of course give you my final thoughts on the palette. So hopefully you will enjoy this as much as I'm going to enjoy creating this look for you. So we're going to go ahead and dive on in. Obviously I've done most of my face makeup already, but I did not put any powder under my under eyes to catch any possible fallout. Fingers crossed that there won't be any, or there'll be a very small amount of it that'll be easy to wipe away. But from my past experience with using palettes from ODEN'S and this being the same formula, I don't really think it's going to be a problem. So I already did prime my one eye that I'm going to be doing using P. Louise in the shade Rumor 2. And just as always, I just need to touch it up here because it is creasing already. Fortunately, I have wrinkles because I'm getting older. I'm already kind of old as it is. So. All right. So I've been looking at this palette, trying to decide what exactly kind of look I want to do. And now I think I got it narrowed down. I will tell you this though. I don't know if you can notice here, but the shade names are written on there, but it's in a color that's very difficult to read because it's against this green and it's written in green. So it's a little hard. So I might have some trouble with these shade names because again, I'm old and I can't see very well. So anyway, I'm gonna do the best that I can with it. And what I think I wanna do is start off with this bright yellow shade here in the corner. That one, from the looks of it, is called Rebirth. So I am going to dip into that. That's actually pretty dusty. Surprising. Okay. But I am just using a basic brush from Amazon. I forgot the name of it, but I try to tell you what I use. So I'm just going to put that right up here, just like in that area. So obviously it's really hard to see right now. So this is one I'm probably going to have to build up. I want to make sure you can see here. So if the angle is off, I do apologize. That is not my intention. But yeah, that's like really, really light. Let me try dipping into it one more time. Again, this shade is actually got quite a bit of kickback in the pan. It's very dusty, chalky type of consistency to it, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. But yes, I am bringing this right up above my crease. As you can see, I'm going up higher with it for a reason. There is another color in here. I was thinking of using this one here. That one is called Underworld. So that's kind of more of like a mustardy color, and that's why I wasn't really wanting to use that, but I might need to dip into it. Let me take another dip of Rebirth, because you know how these lighter shades can build up. All right, that's working out a little better. I can see it now. Hopefully you can. So as long as you can see it, I'm good. I'm good. That's what I really want. All right, so that is kind of what I'm hoping for. I have a mirror in front of me over here, so if you see me looking weird, that's because I'm looking through that mirror too. All right, so now that I have that on, I really want to dip into these pinks. Oh my gosh, these pinks are looking stunning. So I think I want to take this lighter pink right here. It's a really beautiful baby pink. That one, if I can read it, is actually Hela. So it's the name of the palette. And I'm just dipping into that from brush from Decolor. This one is the #1 brush. So just tapping off the excess, because this one's a little dusty too. And I'm just gonna put that right here in my crease underneath that yellow. Underneath the yellow. And then up here, kind of next to it a little bit. So kind of like a diagonal in a way. I have weird methods of applying my eyeshadows. I get it. It may not be what other people may do, but it works for my eye shape. And I'm also not completely as creative as some other people are when it comes to eye makeup. So I try to make do. All right, so I'm dipping in that one more time. But I do love this pink. It is super pretty. I mean, it's showing up really nicely, at least on my end it is. I hope you can see that. But I'm gonna bring that out over here, kind of wing it out a little bit. I'm debating if I should add a little more. Yeah, I'm gonna dip into it one more time just to build it up and really show that color, because that is super pretty. Yes, gorgeous, gorgeous darling. So I'm curious, have any of you ever tried any palettes from ODEN'S Eye before? If you have, I would really love to know about it. So next, I want to build up that pink and go into this fuchsia shade here. That one is called Goddess. And that one actually arrived broken. Let me kind of do a close-up of it there. Do you see how there's kind of like a crack and a little piece missing there? And it's still usable, thankfully. It's not completely destroyed or anything, but did have me a little concerned. All right, so I'm dipping into that. I'm using a Lunar Beauty number 3 brush for this. And I'm just gonna build that up here in my crease. Just kind of, again, to give that Goddess, I'm sorry, the Hela shade a little bit more dimension. And wow, look at that color. Oh my gosh, that is beautiful. I'm liking that shade quite a lot so far. I love me a good fuchsia pink. Oh, I could have that all day long. Definitely, definitely, definitely. So again, I'm just blending to bring that in. And just to get it in my crease here. Now, it may look a little crazy right now. Don't worry. I'm gonna get it. So I want to take that brush that I used before for the Hela shade, dip into it a little bit more because I want to get right in here a little more. So notice that kind of lost a little bit of the shade. And then by doing that, I'm also blending a little more. So that way I don't have too much of a harshness between the pinks. And then I'm just gonna take the excess and buff this out here. Again, so it doesn't have that harshness. Just like so. All right, so again, I want to continue deepening this up. That's just my aesthetic. I like to have a nice dark outer corner. And I think I want to dip into this dark green right here. It's kind of like a traditional green, if you will. That one is called, what is that called? I can't flip and read it. I'm sorry. If I can figure it out, I'll have it written on the bottom of the screen for you, okay? Just, I'm laughing at myself over it too that I can't read it. But that goes to show you, they should use a different color for the shade names, I'm just saying. All right, I'm gonna dip into that using my Blend Bunny Cosmetics B1 brush. Ooh, lots of kickback in the pan on that one. Whew. Wow. All right, so I'm gonna take that and just kind of put that along my lid here and in that outer V. Right in here. Yeah, that's definitely a traditional green. I mean, I guess you can refer it to grass, money, whatever. It looks like a traditional green. Don't know any other way to describe that. But it's a pretty green, don't get me wrong, it really is. And it's blending really nicely together with these other shades, so no complaints there. And I could take a little bit more of this, but I think I'm gonna avoid that. And I'm gonna take this brush once again that I used before, just to lightly, very lightly blend. Very lightly blend. All right. So now I'm gonna move on to my lid. With the lid, I definitely want to use these shimmers. That's, again, my aesthetic. I love a shimmer on the lid and as well also in my inner corner. But so the thing is with the shimmers with Odin's Eye, they usually work better with your finger. And even though I said this is the same formula as the others, I should know better, but I'm still gonna try using a brush first, just to see. And I did not spray it. I know spraying it would probably help, but I'm gonna avoid that right now. And I want to dip into Fluorescence. At least I can read that one. And it's this one right here. That looks really super pretty. And I'm just gonna take that on a ColourPop E18 brush. And it looks like it's picking up on the brush. You can see that. That's a really beautiful, kind of like a, I wanna say lime green. I'm wearing lime green, but it's much lighter, so it's a little bit more chartreusey. Yes, I said chartreusey. I'm just making up words here to kind of go along with what I'm trying to explain. And look at that. That is actually going on just fine. I do not need to use my finger. As much as it's easier to use your finger to apply, it does give you better payoff most of the time, but sometimes a brush will work just fine too. So I'm just taking that shade and I'm kind of lightly blending it into that green that I can't read the name for, just so that way it's not a harsh line between the two. It looks more gradient with the blending, so that is what I am doing. But I'm really happy with how that looks. That shade is stunning. Stunning, stunning, stunning. All right, so for my inner corner, first of all, I am using this little Hank and Henry brush. It doesn't have a number or anything to it, but I'm gonna use that. And I really wanna use this duochrome right here on the bottom. That one is calling my name. That one is called Double-Sided. That's a pretty good name, I guess, for a duochrome, right? So these duochromes can be very flaky. And sure enough, this is kind of flaky, very creamy. But I'm just gonna pop that right here. Ooh. Okay, I see ya. That has a beautiful shift. It kind of has like a gold and pink shift to it from what I'm seeing, but of course it just depends on which way you're turning and the way the light hits it. But it has a beautiful shift and it's really sparkly. That's what I want to see. All right, so for the lower lash line, I'm gonna dip back into that dark green, and this is Makeup Institute of Los Angeles brush, the S320. And I'm just gonna take that right here, not much. I'm not gonna bring it all the way over. I don't wanna have that all the way over. I just wanna take it about 1/3. And then what I'm gonna do is color switch because I'm gonna use the same brush. And then I'm gonna dip back into Goddess, which is the fuchsia pink, because that color is so beautiful. I need that on the rest of my lower lash line. So I'm just gonna blend that together. Sorry, I hope I didn't block you there. And I'm just gonna blend these two together like that. I'm liking that. Okay, so we got it. All right, so obviously I have one eye complete, and I'm gonna go off camera, finish the other eye, finish up the entire look, and then I'll be right back. All right, everybody, I'm back. Look is all done, and I will show you a close-up of this eye look in just a second. First, though, as I always do, I'm going to show you what I used to complete the look. If you are interested in knowing what I used on my face for foundation, blush, and those things, what was basically on my face before we began, that will be listed down in the description box for you. But starting off with eyeliner, I went in my waterline with this ColourPop gel liner. It is in the shade Sub-Zero. My lips, I did not line them today. I don't always because they're so thin, but for lipstick, I went in with this matte lipstick from NYX. It's in the shade Shy. And then I did top it with this Keep It Full lip gloss from Milani, and this one is in the shade Champagne. For mascara, Maybelline Sky High. And the wig, she is Genetrica from It's a Wig. So, looks done. Finally got it all finished, and I'm liking it. I think it's a nice, pretty spring look. After all, I do think this is a nice spring palette, since that's what's right around the corner. Thank goodness. Winter's been long enough for me here. So let me do a close-up and show you what I did here. Honestly, I'll tell you the truth. I think one eye is better than the other. It happens sometimes, but as long as it's still cohesive. And now we can talk about my thoughts on this palette, shall we? Well, Miss Hela, I really, really do like it. I kind of figured I would, as I already mentioned. I'm a big fan of ODEN'S eye palettes. I think that they have a great formula. They blend really nicely, but I will say this much, of the shades that I did try, I was least impressed with Rebirth, which is that first shade I went into, that light yellow. I think it's because it's so pastel that it has that chalky consistency, as I mentioned, that it just takes a lot to build it up. It can be a little bit patchy, not as patchy as a lot of others though. So it's still buildable, it's still blendable and workable. So I guess it's not the worst case scenario, but it was my least favorite of the ones that I did try. And I felt that the showstopper has to go between Goddess, this beautiful fuchsia pink, and what was the other one? Fluorescence. This beautiful shimmer on my lids. Of course, I love the duochrome in my inner corner as well, but those other two happen to be my favorites so far. But of course, there's so many other ones in here to use. I mean, look. I mean, I cannot wait to try these down here. And that mustard color, oh yeah. I'm excited for those. But I definitely do like the palette. I think it's very good quality. I do see a lot of looks being able to be created with it because it is a good color story. So overall, she's getting the thumbs up. I think it's a great palette, one that I would recommend you pick up. Again, if you've never tried an ODEN'S eye before, you are missing out. So here's your chance. So that is my thoughts and recommendation for this palette. I would love to know your thoughts down below. Be respectful, of course. If you already have this palette, please let me know. And if you decide to go get it after watching this, please let me know that too. But thank you guys for watching. I don't have anything more to say. I appreciate it, and I'll catch you next time in my next video. So until next time, bye-bye.